Hello and welcome to this edition of Tips and Tricks. Now today I'm going to be talking about the three most important things in bass fishing. Now these three things I'm going to be talking about are what cost me my most fish. It's just plain and simple. It's kind of going back to the basics, but it's something you really got to be diligent about. And if you aren't, you might end up losing a lot of fish. Now the first one is actually something you need to do before you even make your first cast. And that has to do with your reel and your drag. I have no explanation as to why the drag on these reels gets loosened up, but it does. Now this could be on a bait caster or this could be on a spinning reel. But I'm telling you, before you even make your first cast, you might want to check your drag. Like I said, I don't know why. See, this one even feels a little bit loose. But I think maybe if you keep them like me in your trunk and you're pulling them in and out, you could hit it, it could back it off, because it doesn't take much to back these things off. Or if you're carrying them and they're kind of knocking together or whatever. But for some reason, they have a habit of loosening up. So before you even make it, the worst time to figure out that your drag is loosened up is when you go to set the hook on the first fish. And that's usually when you notice it, if you don't check it before you even start fishing. The first cast, always make sure your drag is not super loose. Because then you'll be like me, and this has happened in tournaments, this happens quite a bit, because I just forget to check them. I go out on that first hit, and they're like, ugh, and I'm like, start reeling, I'm like, oh man, what the hell? My drag's really loose. Oh, that's why I didn't get the hook and my drag loosened up. And I said on this, or spinning reels, just always, that's the number one thing, and that's the first thing you gotta check. Before you even make a cast, check your drags. The second one is always test your knot. I mean, sometimes if you haven't fished in a couple days and everything's still in there and you might be fishing the same setup, so you don't bother to change them out. Although this one usually it's more something you do during the day while you're fishing and you're retying. But sometimes you let them sit a long time, just check them again, just do the little full test on them. But one thing too about when you test them, because I do this a lot too, is I'll tie it, get it down, cinch it, go like that, pull on and go, all right, it's good. Well, yeah, just do the, all right, it's good. But do the little, sorry, I don't know if I have enough line out, but do the little impact test too. Don't just pull on a straight and get, oh, hey, it's good. Do this, see? The knot seemed good, I did that, and guess what? It broke, so there you go. Prime example right there. Just don't pull on it, give it some jerks, and look at that. It did, in fact, break off. There's number two. Always, test your knots. Don't just tie them and pull on them. Give them a little bit of a impact, like that. Pulled on it just as hard straight, but a little bit of impact and bam, it broke. And the third thing that's muy importante is to wait for the trash truck to go by. I don't know what this guy's doing. They've already been down the street. Oh, now I got the mailman. I'll get to the last one soon. All right, now I'm gonna be talking about the third thing, the third most important thing when you're bass fishing. And that is to always check your line. Check your line constantly. It's something I forget a lot. Either you're catching a lot of fish and you're not thinking about it and you just unhook them, you want to get back out there, or you're having a slow day and you're fishing a lot, and you're not catching anything, you're making a lot of casts, you might be working something that's bumping bottom, or something you're reeling that's hitting branches and all that, and you're just getting distracted because you're getting bored. And so you don't constantly just go, hey, I better check to see if there's frays in my line. I mean, I'll watch pros, and even if they're fishing the same bait and catching them on just like one technique the whole day, even if they don't catch a fish for a little bit, or every time they do catch fish, they're always checking their line. And I'm like, out there, I'm fishing, I look, and all of a sudden I see them retying their line. I'm all, retying your line? I caught two fish, and my line's fine, I think. I don't know, I haven't checked it. But yeah, very diligent. I said, I'm talking about the three things that lose you the most fish. And I have a habit of doing this, and I've been doing it for 40 years, and I still just get lazy. The knot thing I always do, but I'm really not that good at, first off, checking my drag before I make the first cast. And during the day, checking my line. Like even this line here, does have some frays and stuff in it. Probably enough that it should have been retied a while ago. So yeah, I just want to come on. I mean, obviously, right now I'm not fishing much. We're all sort of on lockdown. We got a big thing going on. So I'm just getting together some more tips and tricks and biology bites to help you guys out when we do get back to normal and get back to our fishing as much as we can. But there you go, the three most important things in bass fishing. First off, before you even make a cast for the day, check your drag. They have a tendency of loosening up. Second, check your knot. And don't just pull on it, give it the impact. And thirdly, always check your line. You get a little bit of abrasions, anything, even if you're not catching a fish, always check it, because then you might go an hour, And you're like, and you're distracted, you don't retie it, and then the first fish, you set the hook and you snap it off because your line was all frayed. So there you go, guys. I hope this helps. Please join us for our next tips and tricks. Join us for our fishing shows, our biology bites, our blogs, and come join us live. Till next time. Guess we got to retie this.